Hello everyone, welcome back to the Dork side. I am the Dork on the road, and today I'm test riding the Husqvarna Svartpilen 401 motorcycle. That's right everyone, I am the Dork on the road and I want to be your internet riding buddy, but I'm better than your regular riding buddies because I'm available whenever you want and I come with a mute button, so please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you know when new content like this gets posted. Today I'm at Bill's Motorcycles Plus in Salem, Oregon. They're doing a Husqvarna demo day, and my first bike of the day is this here, Husqvarna Svartpilen 401. So far, I think it's pretty slick. So these Pilens, the Svartpilen and the Viltpilen, there's a 401 and a 701 of both. They are interesting motorcycles because they are single cylinder, so they're thumpers. I think. Is any single cylinder bike a thumper? Definitely a single cylinder. Okay, that's bad. Even the 701 is a single cylinder. I believe I read somewhere that it's the largest single cylinder motorcycle that you can purchase. It's interesting. So there are two models, the Svartpilen and the Viltpilen. The Svart is the black one that I'm riding right now. It is the more scrambler type. It has these sort of dirt bike inspired handlebars. The Viltpilen is the more sport bike style. It has clip-ons and the little bit more swept back foot pegs. So this is a 400. So far, it's impressive. I like it. So it's a Husqvarna. So these things are like $6,300 new. The 400s anyway. But I want to start out on the 400 just to get a feel for the bike. And I really, when I sat on the Viltpilen, the sport bike ergos are less comfortable to me because I'm less familiar with them. So I'm sitting upright-ish, not really lean forward too bad. It honestly kind of reminds me of the CRF to a degree. More so than, it's a little bit like the Grom actually, but not necessarily like a sport bike or anything. Power-wise, it seems, it reminds me of, honestly kind of reminds me of the Grom in that it's got that fun but not intimidating power, although this has got a little bit more. I guess they'll do 70 pretty easily. And it's clearly, it's not a heavy bike. These bikes are very, very light. This bike weighs less, I think, or about the same as my CRF. So they're all function. That's supposedly their whole thing is simplicity was the defining characteristic of this line for Husqvarna, at least for their marketing materials. It's all about simplicity. Part of that is to distract you from the fact that this bike is a KTM 390 Duke. It's basically the same thing, same motor. I think it's the same frame, but just different styling. And there are some significant changes. This is by no means the same bike, but it's definitely, it's a reliable platform to have built on, and I feel like it's solid. And if you are a fan of those bikes, then you kind of know what to expect. It's very responsive. I don't know. I really enjoy the power delivery so far. It feels good. It leans. It feels super agile. This bike feels incredibly agile. Like, I can just flip it around. The flickability is like through the roof. It's just very comfortable. Feels like a fun around town bike. It really reminds me of my Grom, seriously. The power to weight ratio on these things, particularly the 700s, but even the 400s, it's pretty good, I guess. You could definitely feel that if you wanted to do some wheelies, you probably could pretty easily. So it's almost like a supermoto, like lurking underneath the hood here. The styling, if you haven't seen pictures of these things, and you probably saw it in the thumbnail, but maybe I'll try to slap in a picture or two here. They are very unique looking motorcycles. I think it's striking, and it's probably a love it or hate it type thing. You either see it and go, holy crap, that's cool looking, or you see it and you go, that's the ugliest goddamn thing I've ever seen. It's very like futuristic, like something you would see in an 80s movie set in 2019, right? Like, it's almost like they went back and watched Blade Runner and took some ideas from it. Almost, but the minimalist style almost looks kind of Mad Maxy to a degree. But the guy in front of me is riding one too, so you can get a sense of what they look like watching him. That's what it looks like from the rear anyway. Comfort-wise, ergos, my feet are slightly behind me, but not like in a cramped or uncomfortable way. They're not directly underneath me. The seat is firm, but I don't think it's uncomfortable, at least not yet. I don't feel tension or anything anywhere. You are leaning forward a little bit, so you have to be conscious that you're not leaning on the bars. Not at all in an uncomfortable way. It's so small, like just flickable. Like, it's a very awesome bike so far. I'm really enjoying it. Oh yeah, it leans over no problem. Oh yeah, gosh, she's got the pickup. It's hard to believe this thing's only a 400. It's just like, this is a type of bike that you could ride the shit out of. Like, the type of bike that you could ride 90 to 100% of its capability all the time and have a blast and never get yourself in trouble. It's that kind of bike, you know what I mean? It's a slow bike you could ride fast, but it doesn't feel slow. Like my Grom, I twist the throttle, I'm like, Jesus, go a little faster. Or I wish I could. This thing, I don't know, that was not wide open and it was very comfortable. The dash is interesting. I like it, and because it's kind of unique looking, it's definitely out of my field of vision. I don't even know if you guys can see it. I like these mirrors, but I think they might be standard. It has a spot on the bars for regular mirrors, but these out around the outside, I'm always complaining about stock mirrors, right? Well, these are good, and I think they look cool, but I just like this style of mirror, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. It'll be interesting if I ride the Svartpilen because it's so leaned forward. The difference in the ergonomics. Look at that tail on that bike. It's very severe, like utilitarian looking. It has that rear fender that's not attached to the body. Dude, I don't know. I kind of dig this. This is the kind of bike that I could see just hopping on, not worrying about too much, whipping around town, doing all kinds of hooligan shit. But also if you wanted to head out on the highway, naked bike and a scrambler had a baby. It's a naked scrambler. Exhaust sound? Yeah, it's pretty subdued, but that's that stock exhaust. I'm sure you could rectify it if you wanted to. Well, you know that I am a Japanese motorcycle fanboy, Honda in particular, but I'm also fond of my Kawasaki. I would seriously consider this bike. I like it. Holy crap, look at this. This is awesome. This downhill. Like, this is a motorcycle I could see myself owning and riding a lot, as much as in much the same way that I ride the Grom. I think I could do everything I do on the Grom on this, but also take it on the highway. Now, it's not like supposed to be a Grom, but there's definitely just some similarities, you know what I'm saying? Like, just rides and handles. It has that fun factor that just can't put your finger on it, fun factor. It's just fun. Like, displacement and everything doesn't matter when the bike is just this fun. I've got no problem hauling me up this hill. I'd like to go a little faster. Oh yeah, shifting and all of that is very smooth. The clutch feels good. Clutch engagement is good. Let's see how we can lean this thing. Oh yeah, it's got more than I want from it right now. Yeah, it's got a little surprising power. Like, you hit that and it will tell you. Like, it jumps up. You could wheelie this bike pretty easy, I feel like. Power to weight ratio is aces. It's a confidence-inspiring, agile bike. I say that a lot, but I like it. I like it a ton. I mean, seriously, I would consider this motorcycle, like, it's not going to replace my Versys for the things that I do on the Versys, but it definitely could replace the Grom for everything I do on it. Frankly, it's not that much more expensive. It's got these sort of scramblery off-road looking tires, so I'll be interested to see how it does on these roads. Good twisties right here. Just gonna downshift a little. I just get anxious going downhill. Dude, I like this thing. Alright, red line. Apparently I'm redlining the shit out of it because the shift light just loves to tell me that it's time to shift. And admittedly, these things are probably not broken in, because it's got 400 miles on it. I mean, good into twisties. I could see ripping it up on this thing, leaning it. You could have some fun carving up canyons on this thing for sure. It's fun. It's just a fun bike. There you go. It's a fun, smaller motorcycle. I see why the 390 Duke is so popular, because it's just fun. Fun power to weight ratio, manageable, agile, not intimidating. It's not an intimidating bike, like, at all. So I dig it. It's an impressive little motorcycle for sure. That is my test ride of the Husqvarna Svartpilen 401. What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments. Check out some pictures if you haven't. Do a little research on it, but it's a fun, cool little bike for sure. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I can try to answer them based on my limited time with the motorcycle. But I'm really enjoying it, and I think you should try to test ride one if you get the chance. So thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. If you got something useful out of this video, you found it entertaining, hit that like button. And as always, please, most importantly, do not forget to be excellent to each other. Thank you.
Excellent!
There's the Capitol. That's a pretty nice view from right here.